morning, Molly. She came in. Hi, Moss. All right, find a nice comfortable seat on your mat. Allow your spine to be long and straight. If you can, close your eyes, let your hands rest on your knees. Take a few moments just to settle in. All beings everywhere be free from pain and suffering. Namaste. Whenever you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. Continue to sit up nice and tall. You can readjust your seat if you need to. Bringing your hands towards the tops of the knees, we'll start to draw some gentle circles in either direction. So you can start to roll the belly forward, take it across one knee, scoop the belly out as you come around the other side. So you can make these circles as big or as small as you wish. You can incorporate the shoulders, just let them roll around. Do whatever feels good here. Inviting some nice gentle movements into the lower back, the hips. We'll do 2 more circles in this direction. Whenever you're ready, you can start to reverse those circles. Sweep it around, draw back. More. 2 more. Last one. Whenever you're ready, come up to that nice neutral spine and relax the shoulders once again. Bringing the arms by your side. As you inhale, you can sweep the arms up, bring the palms to touch. As you exhale, come across the left side for a spinal twist. Use the left hand like a kickstand. Pressing the back of the right thigh, twist from the heart towards the back of the wall. As you inhale, lift back up. As you exhale, take it across to the other side. Don't worry about going too deep, just relax into this. Nice long spine. Whenever you're ready, come back to the center. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, move the arms alongside the body. You're going to keep the cross of the legs. Bring the left heel in. And let the right sole of the foot touch the shin. Sit up nice and tall. So now you have this nice little triangle shape. As you inhale, lift the arms up overhead. As you exhale, start to fold over the legs. Place the hands wherever you need for support. You can keep them extended or maybe come down to the forearms. Breathing through the right side hip. Let the shoulders, head, neck relax. If you feel ready, you can let the forehead rest on tops of the hands. This is a mild hip opener. Stay for another breath or 2 if you can. If you feel any tension or tightness, just breathe into those spaces. Whenever you're ready to release, extend the arms out in front of you and start to walk the hands over to the right knee. Fingertips are in line with each other. You can start to fold over that leg, keeping the arms nice and tall, or come down to the forearms if you can. Try to keep the left sit bone grounded. Find that nice lengthening from the hip all the way through the left shoulder. You can gently make your way back to the center and we'll fold over the left knee. Bring the fingertips in line, pressing your heel to palm, any variation you took on the other side. Feel that nice stretch to the right side hip. Whenever you're ready to release, press into the hands, walk back to the center, and roll up to sit. You can keep this cross of the legs, just putting the right foot on top of the left and bring the hands behind you. Draw the shoulders down the back, lift the sternum towards the sky. If you feel ready, you can lift the hips along with it. Gently lowering the seat back down. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite leg. So the right foot touches the seat, the left foot touches the shin. Sit up nice and tall, reaching the arms up or just walking them forward. Fold over the legs. Make sure you're on the opposite side this time. Breathing into the left side hip. Take a few breaths there, find a little more space. One more breath. We're going to walk our hands over to the left side. Keep the fingertips equal distance. You can lower down to the forearms or stay wherever you need to. Try to keep the right sit bone grounded. Flipping over to the opposite side. Walk back to the center, over to the right. Take any variation you took on the other side, again focusing on the left side body. Whenever you're ready, make your way back to the center. Sit up nice and tall, and we'll take that front stretch one more time. Left foot comes on top and your hands behind you. You can either stay seated and roll the heart up or start to press the hips along with the heart. One more breath. And then gently sit down again. You can roll forward over the knees, stack the shoulders over the wrists, find this tabletop position. A moment to set yourself up, find a nice neutral spine. Let the tailbone move towards the back of the mat, crown of the head forward. Good. Take a moment. We'll take 3 cat-cows and move on from there. Press into the hands. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. As you exhale, roll up into a nice scared cat. If it feels okay, start to shift the weight back. Feel the lengthening through the low back. Maybe the sit bones touch the heel. Roll forward into tabletop. Inhale, drop and arch. Exhale, round. Option to press back or stay where you are. And back to that neutral spine. The last one. Inhale. Exhale, round. Gently press back if that feels okay. And come back to that nice neutral spine. Tuck the toes, draw the hips back. The first downward facing dog. Take a moment to come into it. You can keep the bend in the knees if you're not ready for downward facing dog. If it feels okay, take an alternating calf stretch. Keep moving through the heels. Feel that nice stretch to the back of the calves. Waking up the feet. Press into the hands, draw the feet back, move highest point of the V. From here, we're going to roll forward into a nice tall plank to shift the weight forward, stacking the shoulders over the wrists. Good. If you can, come into that upward facing dog. Roll the heart up, shoulders relax. And press back to downward facing dog. And a little more space. We'll do that a few more times just to warm up the spine. Inhale, roll forward. Come into that upward facing dog. Press back, downward facing dog and stay. 3 more if it feels okay. Roll forward like a wave. Drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, press back. 2 more, roll forward. Inhale, drop and arch. Exhale, draw the hips back. Last one, roll forward. Inhale. Exhale. Readjust whatever you need. Press into the thumb and forefinger. Draw the hips back. Feel okay, the right leg extends up. 3-legged dog. You have the option to bend the knee, open up the hips. Good. Come back to the 3-legged dog. Then bring the right knee to touch the right elbow. Roll forward to that tall plank. See if they can connect. Hover. Press back to the 3-legged dog. Bringing that knee to the center line of the body, so hug it close to the chest. You can round the spine here. Press back, 3-legged dog. You're going to take it across the body. Left knee. You can swivel the hips, let the elbow and knee touch. Press back to that 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hips one more time. We're going to come into a pigeon pose. Extend the right toes up. And bring the right knee behind the wrist. We won't be here very long. We're just warming up a little. So bring the right heel close to the seat. Tempt the fingers alongside the body. You can keep the toes tucked behind you to walk the hips back. And when you feel comfortable, let the top of the foot release. Good. Stay here for a moment. Shoulders relax. Let go of any tension in the face. If you find yourself collapsing on the right side seat, kind of shift the weight until it centers itself a little bit better. The option to reach the hands back behind you, grab hold of the edges of the mat. Start to draw the hips down, lift the heart out. Good. Whenever you're ready, you can release the hands. We'll press back to that 3-legged dog. Take your time. Bring the right toes up behind you one more time. Come into a nice, easy side plank if you can, or stay in the downward facing dog. Release the right toes behind the left heel. Stack the right shoulder over the left. Reach the fingers towards the sky. Good. And come back to the downward facing dog. We'll take a vinyasa here, knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. You can bend the elbows, lower the body halfway down. As you inhale, come into upward facing or cobra. Downward facing dog and stay. Finding a 3-legged dog. Whenever you're ready, left toes reach out. Option to bend the knee, open the hips, stay for a breath. Come back to the 3-legged dog. You're going to roll forward, bring the left knee to tap the left elbow. Let it touch, hover. 3-legged dog. Bring it to the center line. Tuck it really close into the chest. 3-legged. Take it under and across. Maybe it touches the right knee. Bring it back. Then bend that knee, open the hips one more time. Lean back to the 3-legged dog. We'll prepare for pigeon pose on the left side. Bring the left knee behind the left wrist. Gently release yourself down to the mat. Tempt the fingers alongside the body. Try not to sit on the left seat. Take a few moments here to readjust yourself, whatever you need. You can walk from side to side. If you tuck the toes on that back foot, walk the hips back. Stay up nice and tall. So the shoulders relax, your gaze is in line with the chest. Imagine that you're drawing the right hip towards the ground, keeping the weight equal. And when you're ready, you can reach back behind you, grab hold of the mat. If that feels okay, you start to draw the right hip closer to the ground and roll your heart towards the sky. Gently releasing out of the pose. We'll come back to that three-legged dog. Tuck the toes. Gently draw that left leg back up. Good. The option to come into that side plank, lowering the left toes down behind the right heel. Stack the shoulders. So the feet are staggered on this one. Left fingers reaching towards the sky. Feel the underside of the body from the right hip to the right underarm crunching, so everything's active, the left side and the right. Good. Return to that plank pose. Another vinyasa if you wish when you get there, or you can rest in child's pose. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing. Downward facing dog and stay. Good. Roll forward into that tall plank. Lower the knees and press the seat back onto the heels, child's pose. Take a moment, connect to the breath. Good. Take another breath here. Whenever you're ready, you can gently roll yourself up to sit. We're going to do one more for the hips and the groin. It's a nice little frog stretch. So you can actually face the long edge of your mat if you wish. Come up onto your hands and knees and walk the knees out away from the body. Once you're there, you turn your toes out as well. This is my least favorite pose ever. Stay up nice and tall for a moment. Imagine the hip bones reaching back. Try to head move forward, no tension in the face. You can stay up nice and tall for a breath or two. If and when you're ready, you can walk it down to the forearms. You come down to the forearms, imagine you have those sphinx arms. You spread the fingers. This is not the most comfortable position, so take a moment to get yourself settled in. Whenever you're ready to release out of the pose, walk yourself back up to your hands if you're down on the knees. Bring the big toes to touch. Walk the knees in a little bit closer, and you can take another wide-legged child's pose. Drop the tailbone towards the heels, let the belly fall through the legs, and let the head rest on the mat or your hands, or maybe a pillow. Another breath wherever you are. Good. We're going to make our way back into the downward facing dog. So start to roll yourself up to all fours, tuck the toes, and draw the hips back. Take another gentle breath. Set your gaze forward, soft bend in the knees. Option to step, walk, or float. Both feet to the top of the mat and fold over the legs. Let go of any tension in the head, neck, shoulders. Let the crown of the head hang heavy towards the earth. You can keep your fingers resting on the floor. Maybe grab hold of those elbows. You can draw some figure eights or just let the body sway. Feel the belly resting on tops of the knees. Let go of tension in the low back. Take another breath. Whenever you're ready to release, soften in the knees, roll yourself up to stand, one vertebra at a time. Release your arms by the side. Come back to the breath. Good. We'll go through a round of sun salutation. We'll add some stuff in. Do your best to follow along. Inhale, hands to chest. Inhale, lift up, gently arch the spine, press into all four corners of your feet. Engage the muscles of the feet, see if the hips can press forward as the back of the right knee can towards the side. As you exhale, fold over the legs. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Bring the fingers in line with the toes. Take another breath. On your next inhale, you can step the right leg back behind you, release the knee. Good. Coming into Equestrian Pose. Stay up on the fingertips here. Try not to collapse. Create that space that you need. Let the right hip sink forward, the heart rolls up. Good. Moving into a runner's lunge, draw both hips back, straighten out that front leg. You can stay up nice and tall, or you can draw the toes towards the face, releasing the hands to the ground and fold over the leg. Good. If you're folding over the leg, press into the hands, keep the leg straight. You're going to ground into the right hand, extend the left arm up towards the sky. Gentle twist. If the bind is in your practice, you can reach that left hand around, grab the inner right thigh. Sending the left fingers back up towards the side. Release the hands, frame the foot. Bending that front knee. We're going to walk this into Skandasana. So tuck the toes on the back, and we're going to meet in a side lunge to the right edge of the mat. So now you bend the right knee. You keep the hands under the shoulder, extend the left leg out towards the part of the mat. Only sink the weight back as far as you feel comfortable. Good. Feels okay, lift it back. You can let the seat touch the back of the right leg, press into the left heel, let the toes face up. Maybe interlace the hands, pressing around, pressing in front of you to round the spine. When you're ready to release, lower the hands back down. Come back to that equestrian pose. Start to walk the hands forward. Actually, instead of coming back into equestrian, we'll move into a lizard. So walk the left foot to the long edge of the mat. Stay up nice and tall, rocking the hips forward and back. A nice long line from the tailbone to the crown of the head, so don't let the head drop so much. You can stay here or release that right knee, the top of the foot, come down a little bit lower. Maybe release down to the forearms. Good. You have the option to stay here in the lizard or draw the right fingers across the mat towards the left corner of the mat. Roll onto the blade of the left foot. And press the thigh away, sink the hips down. Returning through the lizard, walk your hands under the shoulders. You're going to step back to a tall plank, tuck the toes, left foot meets the right. Another vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga if you wish. Cobra or upward facing dog, downward facing dog and stay. Right toes reach up behind you, point towards the sky. Option again to bend the knee, open the hips again. If you wish to flip this over, release the right foot under the seat and pivot the hips towards the sky. Fingers can reach up or back behind you. Good. Return to that tall plank. Draw the hips back, downward facing dog. One more time. Reach the right leg up behind you. You're going to come into that side plank. Release the right toes behind the left heel. Then come onto the left hand, stacking the shoulders, staggering the feet. Good. Release the right hand down, come back to three-legged dog. With control, stepping the right foot through the hands. Equestrian pose. Release the left knee down, relax the shoulders, lift the heart. Good. Take a moment or two to settle in. Stay up nice and tall on the fingertips. Make sure you have a little space here. You're not completely collapsing on that right thigh. Moving into that runner's lunge, gently slide the hips back, straightening out the front leg. You can stay up nice and tall, or release the hands and draw the toes towards the face. Option to fold over the leg. Good. stay where you are and just press into the hands. Shift the weight to the left hand. Extend the right fingers up towards the sky. If you took a bind, go ahead and take it on this side as well. Reaching the right fingers back up. Gently lower the hand to frame the foot. Come back into that equestrian pose. Take a moment, come back to the breath. Moving into Skandasana, side lunge. Tuck the toes on the back foot. And you can start to walk the hands towards the long edge of the mat. Bend the left knee. Either stay up nice and tall. Find some flexibility in the groin, or let the sit bone touch the back of the left leg. Press into the right heel, let the toes face up, interlace the hands, pressing away, around the spine. When you're ready to release, lower the hands down. We'll come back to the lizard pose. Walking the fingers towards the front of the mat. Walk that right foot over to the long edge of the mat and stack the shoulders over the wrists. Start to rock the hips back and forth, create the space you need. You'll have the option to stay up nice and tall. You can rock the hips up and down if that feels good. If and when you're ready, left knee releases. You can release the top of the foot and walk down to the forearms. Again, everything is optional, so stay with what works best for you. Draw that right knee towards the shoulder. Take another breath. If you wish to go a little deeper, left fingertips start to move towards the right corner of the mat. Roll onto the blade of the right foot and press the thigh away from the body. Try not to collapse on that left shoulder, so press into the elbow. The back of the heart is rolling towards the sky. Good. Take another breath. Coming back up to that nice tall lizard. We're going to step back to a tall plank one more time. Right toes meet the left. Take a moment, come back to the breath. If you need to rest, you can rest in child's pose or another vinyasa, equestrian or chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing. Downward facing dog and stay. Drawing the left toes up behind you, point the toes. Bend the knee, open the head. You have the option, if you wish, to flip this over. Release the left foot down, reach up. Good. Come back to that three-legged dog. Take your time. Extend the toes up. Now we're going to come into that side plank. Lower the left foot down behind the right heel. Roll onto the right arm. Extend the left finger towards the sky. Gently release the left hand down, come back to that nice tall plank. Draw the hips back to a downward facing dog. From here you have the option, you can step, walk, or float both feet to the outside of the hands, coming into a squatting pose. So the hands surround the pinkies of the finger. You can press the elbows into the knees, let the tailbone drop. Crown of the head reaches up and the shoulders relax. Good. Take another breath. You have the option to stay here, or you can release the hands and roll the seat up. Fold over the leg. You can stay here, you can come back to the squatting pose. Bring the hands, the thumbs to the chest, crown of the head reaches up. If you can, we'll do that 2 more times, or just stay where you are. Release and roll the tailbone up. Exhale, lower back down. Good. One more. Release the hands, roll the seat up. Lower it back down. Good. Take a moment, come back to the breath. You can stay here for another moment working on the flexibility and strength in the legs, or you can try for your crow pose. So you can release the hands here. Create some shelves with the backs of the arms. And try to keep the booty down somewhat lower instead of bringing it all the way up in the air. You can start to shift the weight forward, set your gaze towards the front of the mat. Maybe one foot comes up, maybe the other, and maybe both. Good. Keep drawing those heels into the body. Good. Take another breath wherever you are. And then we'll meet back in the squatting pose. Readjust the weight, shift from side to side. Good. Whenever you're ready, you're going to ground through the soles of the feet. You can either roll yourself up to stand or just come straight up from here. Heel toe the feet into the body. Bring them underneath the hips. Come to stand and close your eyes for a moment. Bringing your awareness back to the breath. Good. One more breath. Whenever you're ready, you can gently open your eyes back up. Bring your feet at least hips width apart. We're going to come into a figure four stretch. So it's a standing variation of pigeon. So bring all the weight into the right foot. You can hold onto a chair or a wall for support and cross the left ankle over the right knee. Keep that foot flexed as if you're pressing a wall away from you. Hopefully you're on even ground. I am not. Good. You have the option to stay here. You can bring your hands to your hips or the heart. Start to shift the weight back. Take your time lowering the tailbone back. Keep the heart lifted. With each breath, you find a little more space. So again, you get into that piriformis area. Take a few breaths here. Now, if it's in your practice and you can go a little deeper, you can hook the backs of the arms underneath the leg. Let the left toes wrap around the back of the arm. Maybe you can straighten the seat all the way up. If you have any other variations, you know how to take that flying pigeon. You can release the hands. Keep wrapping those toes around the arm. Set your gaze forward and maybe tuck the right heel into the seat. Good. Make sure you fall forward, you have something soft in front of you. Good. When you're ready to come up, come back the same way you came in. Gently lifting yourself back up to stand. Release the left leg, shake things out. Good job.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah. We're going to switch to the other side. Again, you don't have to take all the variations. Sometimes you get in and sometimes you don't. All right. Right ankle comes across. Flex that foot. Press that foot away from the body. You want to protect that knee. Hands to the heart or the hips or whatever you need. You can hold on to a chair or a wall. Sink the hips back. Keep the heart lifted up. With each exhale, find a little more space. Keep lowering the seat back, back, back. If and when you're ready, you fold over the leg. Bring the arms underneath the leg. Let the right toes wrap around the back of the arm. Then if you wish, you can straighten out. Lifting the tailbone high, crown of the head low. The option is stay there. Or again, try that arm balance. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, shifting the weight forward slightly. Most of the weight is going to rest on the back of the right arm. Good. Just like crow pose. Find your balance. See if you can lift the left toes up, the left heel towards the seat. Good. Gently returning back up to stand the same way you came in. Take your time. Good. Release the right leg down. Shake out the legs. Well done. Take another resting breath here. Good. Walking back up towards the front of the mat. When you're ready, you're going to reach the arms up. Gentle little back bend. Heart opener. You can bring the hands together or reach them up towards the sky. Engage the muscles of the seat. Press forward and roll the back of the heart towards the sky. As you exhale, gently fold over the legs. Good. Take a resting breath here. Let go of any tension in the face. Catch up with the breath. Good. When you're ready, step the right leg all the way back behind you. Lower the right knee down, coming back into that equestrian pose. The option is stay here or shift the weight onto the right arm. Roll onto the blade of the left foot and press that thigh away, sink the hips. Roll the heart up. If that feels okay, if you want to stay there, you can bend the right knee, grab hold of the foot. Start to draw that heel towards the seat. Deeper stretch to the front of the right leg. Good. When you're ready to release, gently lower that foot back down and lower the hand back to the earth. Good. You're going to draw both hips back, coming back into that runner's lunge. Take a moment, catch up with the breath. You have the option to stay here or pressing the heel, draw the toes back again. If you have a half split, go ahead and take it, or a full split, slide that heel out in front. Extend the leg behind you. Take a few moments to get comfortable wherever you are. If you're in your split, start with your hands underneath your shoulders, roll the heart up. Imagine that right hip is reaching towards the earth. Good. You can take any variation of your runner's lunge or split. You can fold over the left leg if you wish. Or if you feel open enough already, turn your torso to the right side, bend the knee, grab hold of the right foot. You can place the foot in the crease of the elbow. You can lift the left arm up, reach around, grab hold of the fingers. And then if you wish, you can start to turn the heart back towards the sky. Towards the front of the mat. Good. When you're ready to release, gently lower that foot back down if you were holding on. Good. And somehow make your way back to that equestrian pose. You can tuck the toes, slide the heel back into place. Bring the fingers to surround the foot. We're going to step back to a downward facing dog. So tuck the toes in the back foot, lift the hip, bring the left foot to meet the right. Paddle out the knees. Good. When you're ready, you're going to bring the right foot forward. Through the hands, release the left knee down, coming back into that equestrian pose. Pressing the fingers, lift the heart, relax the shoulders. You shift the weight onto the left hand, roll into the blade of the right foot and press the thigh towards the earth. Just coming up on the other side. Take a moment or so to see where you need to be. Breathe into the back of the right hip. Again, if you wish, you can bend that left knee, grab hold of the foot behind you, and draw that heel towards the seat. Good. Gently release. You're going to come back into that runner's lunge. So line up in equestrian pose. Slide the hips back. Stay up nice and tall. Pressing the heel, draw the toes back. The option to come into that full split or half Hanumanasana if you wish, if you know how. Take a moment, readjust whatever you need. Find some comfort and stability in the pose. And if and when you're ready, if you wish, bring your torso to the side of the mat. Good. Right arm comes up, grab hold of the fingers or whatever you can. And then turn the torso back towards the front of the mat. Good. Gently releasing out of the pose. Take your time. We'll meet in equestrian pose. Gently bending the front knee if you're in that runner's lunge. If you're in the full split, slide the heel back and readjust whatever you need. Centering the fingers, staying up nice and tall. We're going to move back into that downward facing dog. So release the hands, lift the back knee, and step the right foot to meet the left. Pedal out the heels one more time. Ground to the thumb and forefinger. Keep drawing the tailbone back. Maybe you can lower the forehead closer to the earth. Good. You have the option to stay here or take a resting child pose. If you wish to take an inversion, you can take an inversion. You can take a dolphin, you can take a headstand or a forearm stand, or again, rest. So if you're in the downward facing dog, maybe come down to the forearms. So here you can come into a shoulder stand or a headstand if you wish. With the headstand, you can just lower the head up here. So it's still like you're in a forearm stand and draw the hips up. Bending both knees, start to lift the feet towards the sky. Shoulders relaxed. Create that space between the ears and the shoulders. The hands are flat and you're in a headstand and wanting to try that shoulder stand. The forearm stand. Bend the knees. Start to reach the feet towards the head. And maybe start to peel the head up off the mat. If you start to fall out, you come back to that downward facing dog. Try and draw these shoulders away from the ears, no tension here. Good. Wherever you are, take another breath, and then we'll meet in the child's pose. So if you're in the forearm stand or dolphin, just lower the seat, take a resting breath here. With the arms extended out in front, you can bring the hands to prayer. Press into the elbows and draw the thumbs to the top of the back. Good. We're going to come into a shoulder stand next. There's many options there as well. From your child's pose, you can either just sit up and take a seat on your mat. You can take another vinyasa if you wish. Come into that nice tall plank, lowering the body, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing, downward facing dog and stay. You can step, walk, or float the feet to the front of the mat, or maybe jump the legs through the hands. Come up nice and tall, bend the knees. I was afraid to skid my heels. Just see if you can shoot the feet through the legs, sit up nice and tall in staff pose. Take a moment, come back to the breath. You can shift the weight from side to side. Press firmly into the seat, let the crown of the head move up, and the shoulders relax. Take a resting breath here. The shoulder stand. If you don't wish to take an inversion, you can come into sleeping tiger. We'll all come in the same way, so extend the arms out in front. Gently lower yourself back onto the mat. Good. You can release the arms by your side, take a resting breath here. Feel the entire length of the back pressing into the earth. You can press into the back of the head, lift the shoulders, and settle them back onto the body. If and when you're ready, the feet extend towards the sky. Variation 1. Nice variation of legs at the wall. You can reach the fingertips up to meet the legs. Come into sleeping tiger. If you want to come into the shoulder stand, you can use a little momentum, bring the hands by your side, swing the hips back and up, catch hold of the low back. You can shimmy yourself from side to side, bring the hands higher up the length of the back, and bring all the weight to the backs of the arms, the back of the head, the shoulders. No tension in the face, no tension in the neck. Let those toes reach up towards the sky. Eyes are closed. Allow the breath to be nice and soft and natural. If it's available, we'll move into the half plow. Keep the left toes extended and draw the right leg back behind you. You can keep the legs straight or bend the right knee and lower it to the forehead. If your toes touch the ground, you can curl the toes under, press into the ball of the foot and reach the left toes higher up. Gently guide the right leg back up to meet the left. Switch to the other side. Lowering the left leg back. Wherever it settles, it settles. Don't worry about going too deep. Lifting the left leg back up to meet the right. And if you're ready, you can come into the full plow, extending both legs back behind you or bending the knees and bringing them to touch the forehead. If the toes touch the floor, again, curl the toes under. Press into the balls of the feet and see if you can draw the heels towards the mat. When you're ready to release out of the pose, you can use the hands, bring them down the length of the mat, slide the feet halfway up the wall behind you, and start to lower yourself out, one vertebrae at a time. Let the legs come down nice and slow. Once the sacrum touches the floor, let the legs come down even slower. Find control, and then take a resting breath on the mat. Bring your arms alongside the body. We're going to move into the fish pose next, so whenever you're ready, bring the legs together. Rock from side to side and bring the arms underneath the body. The thumbs can touch or interlace. On your next inhale, press into the elbows, start to puff the chest all the way up. You can set your gaze back behind you and let the crown of the head brush the earth. All the weight is in the backs of the arms. Breathing in and out of the heart center. The best breath you've had all day. Feel the expansion of the lungs. When you're ready to release, press into the elbows, tuck the chin in towards the chest and release the arms from under the body. Bring the feet hips width apart and take another resting breath here. We're going to come onto our bellies in just a moment. You can either roll yourself over and come into a Sphinx pose, or you can bend the knees, rock from side to side for a moment, and then sway from forward to back. Take a few rocking motions. When you're ready, you can come up to sit. And then lay yourself on your belly. Take a moment here. Keep your feet about hips width apart just for a moment, and the tops of the feet touch the earth. Bring your elbows into the shoulders, and you can rock the hips from side to side. So we're all in Sphinx Pose, a nice easy variation with the feet apart. Good. Now in the Sphinx Pose, you can stay here for the next couple of rounds. If this is enough, you can come into it and out of it, or take your Cobra Pose. If you need to, you can take a bridge pose. So the first variation, you're going to press into the elbows, spread the fingers wide. Now engage the muscles here of the seat. So you're going to squeeze the seat a tiny bit, press into the tops of the feet, the pubic bone, and pull the heart through the arms. Allow the shoulders to relax. So the knees aren't touching the earth. You can feel it pressing into the tops of the feet. If you wish to go further, press into the hands, straighten out the arms, shoulders relax. After a breath, you can walk the hands a little bit closer to the body. Keep the pelvic bone touching the floor and the tops of the feet. Try not to collapse into the low back. So keep pressing into the hands, finding length. Whenever you're ready to release, you can come back to that Sphinx pose. Coming back down onto the elbows. Create the soft pillow with the hands and let the head rest there. Set your gaze in either direction. Again, you can press into the tops of the feet. And windshield wiper the heels. Create a little more space in the back. You can repeat that variation if you wish, what we just did, or you can try for a bow pose. So whenever you're ready, you can bring your chin or your forehead to touch the mat. Walk the legs a little bit closer together and bend the knees. Bring one hand at a time. See if you can grab hold of the feet or the ankles. Take a resting breath here. If this is too much, you can try one. You can come into that half Sphinx pose and maybe kick one foot into the hand. If you feel ready for bow, hold on to the feet. As you inhale, peel the thighs and the chest off the mat and kick the feet firmly into the hand. You can rock forward and back if that feels okay. Massaging the internal organs. Good. When you're ready to release, gently lower yourself down, nice and easy. Release the feet. You can create that soft pillow or just rest the head on the mat. Setting your gaze in the opposite direction. If you have any tension in the back, you can windshield wiper your feet from side to side. Rock the hips. Good. We'll take one more bow pose, Sphinx, or whatever you need to do. One more back bend. Preparing for the final round. Grab hold of the tops of the feet, bringing the heels close to the seat. When you're ready, as you inhale, kick the feet back, lift the heart. See if you can come up a little taller. Maybe the big toes touch. Stay for another breath. If it's available, we're going to move into skydiving pose. Gently release the feet, stay up, and sweep the arms forward. Like we just jumped out of that plane. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower yourself down. Release the arms down the length of the mat. Separate your feet wide. Rock the hips from side to side. Good. One more breath. Good. Let's make our way into a wide-legged child's pose. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. You can keep the knees wide, bring the big toes to touch, and shift the weight back. Come back nice and slow from your back bend. You don't want to go too fast. Gently let the sit bones touch the heels. You can rest the forehead on the hands. And let the belly slowly fall through the legs. Relax the shoulders, let go of tension in the face. You take another 2 breaths here. When you're ready to come out, you can gently roll yourself up into hero's pose and bring the knees together. Just take a moment here, come back to the breath. We're going to come into one more before our spinal twist, or maybe we'll add the spinal twist with it. Come into that cow facing pose. I'll show you what I'm talking about. If this doesn't work, you can stay in hero's pose, or you can extend the legs in front, or just cross the legs, how we started the class. You're going to shift the weight to the left side, take the right foot and bring it around. So you can start off here, maybe the knees aren't in line. You can always shift the weight forward, bring the right knee in front of the left, keep the feet out towards the long edges of the mat, and then settle both sit bones on the ground. So you start off nice and tall here, see if this works for you. Good. So you can roll forward, maybe stack one knee in front of the other, and then sit back.
Maybe.
Maybe. Good. He's telling me what you're really thinking right now. Good. All right. You okay that way?
Yeah, it's about as good as
Okay. That's good. All right. Sit up nice and tall. You can either just sit here and work on this. It's a lot in the hips, or you can add some arms. Extend your arms out to the side. Try not to hit your spouse. And then bring the right arm underneath the left. Crossing at the elbows, either the backs of the hands touch, or you're going to eagle wrap the arms. Palms touch and the shoulders relax, thumbs in line with the face. You can take a breath or two here, see how it feels. Maybe you can start to bring the backs of the arms parallel, so slide the fingers up as you relax the shoulders. Feel that nice gentle stretch to the left side shoulder and the upper portion of the back. A few breaths here. If and when you're ready, if you want to go further, you can start to hook those elbows in front of the knees. So lower the elbows towards the floor, keep the seat grounded. Maybe karate chop the fingers towards the ground. You're just folding over the leg. Good. When you're ready to release out of the pose, you gently lift yourself back up. If you're folding over the leg, take a moment, come back to the breath. You can gently release the arms here, and you're going to bring the thumbs to the chest. So you come hands to prayer. This is a variation. You can take this or not, or otherwise it's just going to be a spinal twist. You can take the left elbow and bring it in front of the right thigh. Start to turn your heart, so pressing the back of the arm into the thigh. Thumbs in line with the chest. Start to open the right shoulder towards the sky. Good. When you're ready to release out of the pose, gently break the bind if you have it. And we're going to switch to the other side. So I've never been good at this. There's a fancy way of coming out. I'm going to try it today. I think you shift the weight forward, and you walk yourself around the back, and then bring the right knee behind the left to get to the other side. Or you can just stand up, sit down. You can come into this any way you know how, whatever you did the first time. Now the left knee is over the right. Again, make that adjustment if you want. Roll forward onto the hands, stack the shoulders over the wrist, line the knees up, then press the seat back. So it's important to have the sit bones, if they can, touching the earth, and the feet, they come out like cow's ears to the side, so they kick around a little. Good. If and when you're ready, sit up nice and tall. The option is stay here or whatever you need to do with the legs. We're going to switch the cross of the arms from before. So this time the left elbow coming underneath the right. You can bring the thumbs to the face. Shoulders are relaxed, sit up nice and tall. If and when you're ready, you can start to reach the fingers up towards the sky, bringing the backs of the arms parallel. Now maybe the thumbs are in line with the chest. Breathe into the right side shoulder. Good. If you wish, you can fold over the legs if you took that variation before, or stay up nice and tall. Maybe you can karate chop the hands towards the mat so the blades of the hands now touch, and let the head relax. When you're ready to release out, gently lift yourself back up to sit. Good. Release the cross of the arm and bring the hands to prayer. Take a moment, settle in. Good. Coming to that spinal twist. The right arm comes across, the back of the arm pressing into the thigh. You can slide the thumbs to the center of the chest. Start to peel the left shoulder back and take your gaze up towards the sky. Sink out. Gently release the bind if you have it. You can roll forward or release the pose however you need. Come back into that tabletop position and take another child's pose. Lower the seat onto the heels, extend the arms out in front. If you need to, you can bring the arms behind you and fully relax. Complete surrender. If you have any tension in the low back, you can take your hands into little fists and gently massage yourself. You can just do a nice little pounding motion here, where you can draw some circles around the kidney area. Take a moment to settle in. Whenever you're ready, you can release the arms once again. Take another breath here. Extend the arms out in front one more time. We're going to take a side stretch. So walk the hands to the right and shift the hips to the left. Come back to the center. Over to the right. The center. Roll yourself up nice and slow and prepare for the final relaxation. You can extend the legs forward. Take your time coming onto the back side. Gently roll yourself down. Take a moment or so to get yourself settled in. Make any adjustments you need to. You can separate the feet as wide as the mat, press into the heels and rock the hips from side to side. Once they feel like they can settle in, you just let them go. Let the feet fall out to the side. Let the arms fall away from the body. Readjust whatever you need, the shoulders, the head, the neck. So press into the back of the head so the neck is nice and long. Chin tucks in somewhat towards the chest. It's at least parallel. Take a few breaths here just to settle in. Let the body weight rest heavy on the earth. Take your time to settle into the breath. Let every muscle, every organ, every cell settle back into place. Begin to soften all the muscles of the face. Let go of any hard expressions. Soften the eyebrows, the nose, the cheeks. Let the jaw, the tongue, let everything just fully relax. Every exhalation, let the body weight sink a little heavier. Gently bringing your awareness back into the body. Feel the weight of the body press against the earth once again. Bringing your awareness back to the breath. If you're ready, on your next breath, you can bring the legs together and extend the arms up overhead. Reaching the fingers and the toes or flexing the feet, whatever you need to do here. See if you can draw the belly button towards the spine. Find length from the toes to the fingers. Whenever you're ready, you can gently release the arms alongside the body. And if you wish, you can hug both knees into the chest. One at a time, just grab hold. You can rock the tailbone from side to side. Good. And whenever you're ready, you can gently roll onto a fetal position either side. Take a moment here. You can bring yourself up to sit. Find a cross-legged position if you can. Come up to sit nice and tall, ground through the sit bones, shoulders relaxed. With gratitude, remember the dedication you set for your practice today. We'll end our class with one Om, 3 Shantis. Take a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. Our gratitude always. Namaste.
Thank you, Teresa and Molly.
Thank you.